I told Shannon Sharpe, if you keep it up, they gonna get you. I told him, if you keep bunny hopping, they are going to get you. And now they got him. FBI, open up! You mean to tell me you're a privileged white girl? You was just SA'd by one of the most popular former athletes in NFL history, and you don't call the police. You do not seek to take this man off the street. You are not fearful that he might not try to do this to you again. You don't tell the police at all that you were SA'd by this big, black, muscular athlete. That don't make any sense. Art, 5,000 black men were hanged in this country, from emancipation of slavery to assassination of Malcolm X.
How you feel about Shannon Sharpe, him getting sued for $50 million by a white girl, a 19-year-old white girl?
It's interesting, Art, because last week I was at FDMG Academy doing some walkthroughs with some potential floor contractors, because we still have to get the floors covered up. The concrete where we remove the rugs, that has to be covered up with tile. And so I'm in Wilmington, Delaware, outside of the school, and all of a sudden my phone started going off. It started going off. I don't know if this was Monday or Tuesday, because Tony Busby, the attorney representing the alleged victim, Gabriella Zuniga, or should we call her Gabriella I Love to Sue Ninjas, but that case was entered into court Sunday, a week from yesterday. And so I think I was at the school on Monday. It must have been, Art, Monday or Tuesday. And so my phone is going off and I'm getting all these texts. Shannon Sharpe has been snow bunny. Shannon Sharpe has been snow bunny. Dr. Umar, Shannon is being accused of the unthinkable. And it bothered me because, as you know, me and Shannon Sharpe have had some back and forths over the internet, never directly, but obviously me speaking to him and him speaking to me about, his position that he don't date black women and that he prefers Caucasians. And of course, being who I am, respecting all women, no matter what the color, but I believe black men need to be with black women. And given the fact that Sean Puffy Combs finds himself in a situation he's in, and R. Kelly finds himself in a situation he's in, and Bill Cosby finds himself in a situation he's in, and of course, Sean Carter freeing himself from false allegations that Tony Busby had lodged against him, you would think that in the aftermath of all of these sex assault cases that's going on, that Shannon Sharpe, or any black male celebrity for that matter, will conduct themselves in a more responsible manner. So I'm not here to beat a man when he's down, obviously, because as I've made it clear on social media, to the disappointment of many, I stand with Shannon Sharpe. And I stand with Shannon Sharpe, Art, for one reason and one reason only. And that is because what he did in having a relationship with a 19-year-old snow bunny is not illegal. And so dealing with the American court system, morals has no place in it. Morals have no place in American law. If it did, we would have never been enslaved. So in a court of law, it's about whether you broke the law. It's not about whether what you did was right or wrong. And so I'm standing with Shannon Sharpe because I don't want to see his life destroyed like Puff, like Kelly, like they tried to do to Carter, like they've done to Cosby. I don't want to see this happen to another man. And because she was not legally a child, although too young for nearly all of us to feel comfortable with a man of his age dating her, it was not against the law for him to be with this 19-year-old. So what do we know about this situation? According to Gabriella Zuniga, she met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in Los Angeles approximately 2 years ago. 2023. Now, Shannon alleges that he tried to present her with an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, which every celebrity should require from anyone they engage with. Well, guess what, Art? She decides she's not going to sign the NDA. That right there was a warning to Shannon Sharpe that this 19-year-old, who you shouldn't be dating anyway because of her age, because of her race, you need to end this. If she don't want to sign an NDA dating a celebrity, you know what that means. That means if this doesn't go her way, she's going to expose you. Shannon Sharpe should have ended it right there. The problem was she fit his type. Obviously, Uncle Shay Shay, he likes Caucasian women, as we all know, and he likes them very skinny, which I didn't know. And the reason I'm saying that is the pictures that are floating around the internet on Gabrielle Asu Ninjas is the pictures of a very petite Caucasian woman who, not being disrespectful when I say this, appears to be built like a 13, 14, 15-year-old child. She doesn't appear to be developed like a woman. She doesn't appear to be a woman who's in childbearing age. There's no curves on that body. There's no lumps on that body. And according to her, allegedly, Shannon Sharpe told her that if she would lose enough weight for him, he would buy her some artificial breasts. Now, that's very puzzling to me, Art, because she's already extra skinny, extra petite, no booty, no breasts, no nothing. Why would you want her to lose any more weight? So from that, we can gather that Shannon Sharpe's type is an extra pale, extra skinny Caucasian. He definitely don't like them 5'5", thick in the thighs like Dr. Umar. He don't want butter almond. He don't want butter pecan. He don't want fudge, cinnamon, mahogany. He don't even want African vanilla, African butterscotch, African lemonade. He wants some pale and skinny. I want them brown chocolate and curvy. So anyway, they engage in this BDSM relationship. It appears that both of them allegedly are sadomasochistic. They are into BDSM behavior, bondage, domination, submission, and humiliation. That's what BDSM means. Now, some people are asking the question, Art, why didn't Shannon find someone a little older? Why didn't Shannon, with his money and his fame, find an older white woman or older black woman, even if you went with your 30s, even if you went with your 20s? Why didn't Shannon, with his money and fame, get a woman who was a little bit more mature? I'm going to tell you why I think he didn't get a woman who was a little bit more mature, Art. Number one, he's not interested in women who are a little bit more mature. But also, Art, you and I know that if you get you a sophisticated black woman, and I'm assuming it's the same for the Snow Bunny Mafia, but if you get you a sophisticated black woman, she ain't going to be doing all that freaked out stuff early on in the relationship. You're going to have to earn that if you get it at all, if you understand what I'm saying. Ain't no black woman I know, not no black woman of respect, whether she's a celebrity or regular working class sister with a 9-to-5 trying to make ends meet. She is not going to be engaging in BDSM behavior unless you put a ring on it. You're either going to put a ring on it or you're going to pay her up front. And it appears that in Shannon's relationship with Gabriella, he wasn't taking care of her financially, Art. It does not appear that he was taking care of the Snow Bunny financially, because if he was, why are there texts of her asking him for $10,000? If you are a multi-millionaire celebrity, king of the black podcast amongst the celebrities, you on, you're on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, you on ESPN, Fox used to be on Fox Sports, whatever the case may be, you got money. Why is your side piece, your jump off, why are you not taking care of her? He broke the first rule of being a player as a celebrity. You keep them happy so they don't destroy you. You keep them happy so they don't expose you. And he was not taking care of her financially. That was a big mistake. But she was okay with that, Art. Why? Because it appears that Gabriella allegedly was looking forward to having Shannon Sharpe's baby. She kept talking about getting pregnant. And then Uncle Shay Shay made another mistake because he says to her in the text message, if I still F with you around my birthday, if I still F with you around my birthday, you can remove the IUD. So Art, he's having unprotected sex with a 19-year-old OnlyFans model. Illegal? No. Stupid? Yes. But here's where it gets even more critical, Art. By telling her she can remove her IUD, if you still messing with her around your birthday, you're giving her false hope. You're giving her false hope. And what you're doing, Uncle Shannon Sharpe, is you're turning this from a transactional relationship with benefits, sex for cash, and you're turning this into a legitimate romance. When Shannon told her she can take out the IUD, which automatically implies it's okay for me to get pregnant now, you automatically led this woman into thinking she was going to have a long-term relationship with you that would involve a child. Now, you and I know, Art, that something psychologically and emotionally had to be wrong with her, because why is a 19-year-old OnlyFans snow bunny thinking she's going to get married to or have a baby with Shannon Sharpe? It don't make sense. Why would he give you a baby and have to walk around letting the world know I impregnated someone younger than my own daughters, almost old enough to be my granddaughter? He's not going to do that. For her to think he would tells you that she had the mind of a child. Wishful thinking, imaginary thinking, without a lot of common sense and logic. So let's go further, Art. This whole time she's telling Shannon, I want this big black baby. She says, I always wanted a black baby. Now, time out. Why does a 19-year-old snow bunny says she always wanted a black baby? You always wanted a black baby for what? Because you didn't want a black baby to raise it, because you're not black. Why would you want a black baby given the hell that black people suffer in this country? I believe she was trying to sweet talk him into the pregnancy. I believe she was trying to sweet talk him into the pregnancy. And then when she said, you better get used to it, she texted him, Art, and she said, you better get used to me, because once you put that big black baby in me, you ain't never getting rid of me. She said, you better get used to me, because after you put that big black baby in me, you ain't never getting rid of me. And I think that was the text message that scared Shannon Sharpe. When Shannon got that text message, when she said, after you put that big black baby in me, you ain't never getting rid of me, that's when he knew he was dealing with a psycho. And I think from that point forward, he started trying to separate, failing to realize that you didn't do this to no sister. You did this to a privileged white girl, OnlyFans model or not. She is a privileged white girl. What black men need to understand in America, Art, that they still don't understand. It doesn't matter if the white woman is homeless. It doesn't matter if the white woman is strung out on drugs. It doesn't matter if the white woman is a prostitute. It doesn't matter if the Caucasian is an OnlyFans model. She is still a white woman in America. And if she accused you of doing wrong, you will be brought down and disgraced as if you were accused by Hillary Clinton herself. And so Shannon Sharpe, not recognizing the political implications of this private sexual relationship, he gave her the weapons that she could use to destroy him. So first it started with, put your black baby gravy in me. And first of all, Art, I don't want us to gloss over the fact that she is objectifying this black baby that she wants to have. Why not just say, I want your baby? Why not just say, I want a beautiful baby? Why not just say, I want Shannon Sharpe's baby? No, I want you to put a big black baby in me. She's almost calling him ugly. And she's almost calling the baby ugly too. But what I want black men to understand, not that black is ugly for us, Art, but black is ugly for them. And so what she's doing, she's objectifying this baby even before she's impregnated. And this is important because black men need to understand, Art, that white women don't like us. They fetishize us. White women don't like us. They fetishize us. And the problem with the Negro, the problem with the coon, the problem with these politically unconscious, sexually thirsty black male celebrities, Art, is they can't tell the difference between a white woman who favors you and a white woman who fetishizes you. White women don't favor black men. White women fetishize black men. So moving on, Art. Tony Busby is suing Shannon Sharpe in court, Las Vegas, Nevada, Clark County, for his client, Gabriella Zuniga, Niggas, on 2 counts of civil violation. Number 1, he's being accused of intentional infliction of emotional distress. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. And number 2, he's being accused of 2 counts of sex assault. So you got intentional infliction of emotional distress and 2 counts of sex assault. Now, check this out, Art. Some people are asking the question whether or not I believe that the white power structure involved itself in this lawsuit. People are asking whether or not I believe the elites of the world put themselves or had some influence on this case. And I believe they did, Art. I'm going to tell you why. Gabriella allegedly told Shannon, let's back up. She sent Shannon a text, Art, and she said, I need $10,000. She sends Shannon a PayPal link for $10,000. Uncle Shay Shay says, I don't hit the Cash App. I got 10 grand for you when I see you. Gabriella says, I need it now. I'm broke. Uncle Shay Shay said, I'm not sending you no money electronically. 10K when I see you. So guess what she does, Art? Gabriella tells Shannon, take a picture of the 10,000 and text it to me. Guess what she was doing, Art? When she asked Shannon Sharpe to send her a picture of the $10,000, she was setting him up right then. She was setting him up with the 10K. What do I mean, Art? Prostitution is illegal in Clark County, Nevada. Prostitution is illegal in most states. So the reason she wanted Shannon Sharpe to send her a picture of the money so she could have him arrested for solicitation of prostitutions. She plays dirty, brother. She plays dirty. She was lining up her ducks already when she said, send me what black man you know, Art, going to send a 19-year-old OnlyFans snow bunny a picture of $10,000. You know what that looks like? It looks like I'm paying you for sex. That's prostitution. Puffy is being accused of that. R. Kelly was convicted of that. And the other thing she tried to get him on, Art, is the Mann Act. The Mann Act is a federal law that makes it illegal to transport women across state lines for purposes of sex. When Shannon Sharpe relocated to Las Vegas from Los Angeles, she followed him. When Shannon Sharpe relocated from California to Nevada, she followed him. If she could show that she was paid to cross state lines to have sex with this ex-NFL superstar, he could be accused of breaking federal law. See, the Mann Act, Art, was created in 1910. And guess why the federal government created the Mann Act? To try to incarcerate the first black heavyweight champion, Jack Johnson. Remember, Jack Johnson was our first popular snow bunny hopper, right? He was the first black man who openly, even before it was acceptable, openly ran around the world with white girls. And so the U.S. Congress, 2 years after he became heavyweight champion of the world, 2 years after Jack Johnson became heavyweight champion of the world, the U.S. Congress created the Mann Act. He became champion in 1907, 1908. They passed the Mann Act in 1910. And by the way, Art, the Mann Act is also known as the White Slave Traffic Act. The White Slave Traffic Act. So she tried to get Shannon Sharpe to send her a picture of the money, Art, so she could get him arrested for prostitution, state charge in Nevada. And so she could get him arrested on the Mann Act, the White Slave Traffic Act, federal crime. She was playing dirty. But Shannon didn't fall for it. So guess what she does? She decides, I'm going to record the next sex act that we have. And when I record the next sex act that we have, I'm going to engineer this, allegedly, I'm going to engineer this to make it look like he SA'd me. So Art, she tapes it, she videos it, and allegedly this video, the audio, has her telling him to stop. He allegedly doesn't stop. But guess what? When you listen to this, it sounds as if he could very well be continuing because she is a BDSM freak. If you are normally having aggressive sex, Art, if you are normally having bondage and domination in submissive sex, if you are having sadomasochistic sex, how do you know when it's sex and how do you know when it's assault? When does the sex stop and when does the assault begin? And it appears to me, Art, that she didn't have a problem with him sodomizing her. She had a problem with him not using a condom when he did it. But then my question becomes, if y'all were already having unprotected sex for nearly 2 years, why did you need him to wear a condom this time? I'll tell you why she needed him to wear a condom this time, Art, because she was setting him up, as he rightfully said, for the shakedown. For the shakedown. So first of all, Art, she wanted a baby out of Shannon because for a snow bunny dating a wealthy black man, a baby is financial insurance. For a snow bunny dating a successful black man, the mixed race baby, the big black baby, is my financial insurance. She thought Shannon Sharpe was into her until the infamous Instagram Live scandal. You remember that? When Shannon Sharpe was caught on tape banging out a snow bunny on Instagram Live. He claimed he didn't put the Instagram Live on. We will never know the story, but that ain't the point. The point, Art, is she was looking for a baby until Shannon cheated on her with the Instagram Live scandal. Everything changed after the Instagram Live, Art. Everything changed. She went from wanting to be a baby mama to being an extortionist. Because after that, it became all about the money. She told Shannon, she said, I know you missed this big, juicy booty. I don't know what booty she talking about, Art, because I didn't see no booty. I saw 2 pale, ashy, extra flat buttermilk biscuits. I don't know what booty she claiming she got. But anyway, she told Shannon, you have to pay me $25,000 for each one of my cheeks. $25K for the left cheek, $25K for the right cheek. Here's the problem with that, Art. If he only needed to pay you 50 grand for your flat cheeks, 50K, how did you end up at 50 million? Art, she said 25K for each cheek. That's only 50 grand. So how did we go from 0 to 100 in a couple weeks? You just wanted 50 grand. But your lawyer, Tony Busby, wants 50 million. Here's why I believe the power structure might be involved, Art. You are not going to convince me that a 19-year-old OnlyFans model, I don't care if she black, white, brown, yellow, or red. You are not going to convince me that if you offer a 19-year-old OnlyFans model who sells videos of her body for cash apps on the regular, she sells videos and pictures of her body on the internet for cash apps, and she gets offered $10 million to walk away when she only asks for 50 grand. Think about this, Art. She only asks for 50 grand. Shannon Sharpe says, I'm going to give you 10 million to walk away. And she says no. Art, do you know of anybody on OnlyFans? Do you know of any 19-year-old teenager who, if offered 10 million to shut up and go away when they only wanted 50 grand, do you know of any 19-year-old girl who is not going to take the 10 million?
Anybody taking 10 million?
Thank you. You on OnlyFans. You making money by selling your body, so you clearly not doing too well in these streets. You get offered 10 million and you turn it down? I believe the NFL power structure, or maybe the white media power structure, or maybe the white podcast power structure. Somebody was jealous of Shannon Sharpe's upcoming $100 million contract. Somebody was jealous of Shannon Sharpe's upcoming $100 million contract, and they intervened at the level of Tony Busby, or they intervened at the level of Gabriella Azul. One or the other. Because ain't no 19-year-old OnlyFans model turning down no 10K. Somebody wanted Shannon Sharpe embarrassed. Somebody wanted Shannon Sharpe humiliated. Somebody wanted Shannon Sharpe's financial future destroyed. But Shannon Sharpe made a big mistake, Art. He made the same mistake Sean Puffy Combs made. You know what that is? Offering too much money too soon. Remember when we had our last conversation, I said what? Puffy messed up when he offered Cassie that amount of money in less than 24 hours. It makes you look guilty. It makes you look guilty. Shannon Sharpe offered the 19-year-old Snow Bunny $10 million. That was too much money and it was too soon. And where there's smoke, there's fire. So Tony Busby in the white power structure allegedly stepped in and said, if he can give you 10 that easy, if he can give you 10 that easy. Remember, Shannon was bragging when he was talking about how the Cat Williams interview made him more money than he ever made in the NFL. Remember that, Art?
I remember that.
So he's letting people know that the pockets is kind of heavy. So when he offered Gabriella Asu Ninjas $10 million, they said, oh, we can get a whole lot more than that. The shame of it all, Art, is we don't even know if Shannon going to get the $100 million contract now. I hope he does. I want what's best for my brother. I hope Shannon still gets his $100 million deal. It's hard out here for a black man. But Art, if they suing him for $50 million, what if he don't get the $100 million deal? Think about that. I don't know what he's worth. I don't pocket watch. But let's just say Shannon don't get it, and I hope he does. Knock on wood. But if Shannon don't get the 100 mil, Art, and the court award her 50 million, what if he don't even have 50 million? What if he don't even have 50 million? They would have been better, Art, and I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they showed their hand. But they would have been better off waiting until he got his contract. They would have been better off waiting until he had his contract so they could show that he got the money. But you coming in for a cash out before he's even signed the contract. Bad move on their part, but that was good luck for Shannon. Now, let me back up a little bit, Art. I got some questions for Tony Busby and Gabriella Zuniga. If I am Shannon Sharpe's attorney, Lanny Davis, if I am Shannon Sharpe's attorney, Lanny Davis, I got some questions, Art. Question number one, Gabriella Zuniga. You claim that Shannon Sharpe was abusive and controlling for the entire 2-year relationship. If Shannon Sharpe was abusive and controlling during the entire 2-year relationship, why did you pack up and follow him to Las Vegas from California. If he was abusing you in Los Angeles, don't you think he would also be abusing you in Las Vegas? So why did you follow an abusive man from one state to another? That don't make no sense. Question number 2. Gabriella Zuniga, you claim that Shannon Sharpe SA'd you twice. October of 2024, January of 2025. You claim allegedly he SA'd you October 2024, January 2025. If he SA'd you in October of 2024, why didn't you call the police? You mean to tell me you're a privileged white girl? You was just SA'd by one of the most popular former athletes in NFL history, and you don't call the police. You do not seek to take this man off the street. You are not fearful that he might not try to do this to you again. You don't tell the police at all that you were SA'd by this big, black, muscular athlete. That don't make any sense. Art, 5,000 black men were hanged in this country from emancipation of slavery to assassination of Malcolm X. 5,000 black men were hanged in this country from the emancipation of slavery to the assassination of Malcolm X. 1865 to 1965, over 5,000 black men hanged. Do you know why most of them were hanged? For being accused of having consensual sex or non-consensual sex with white girls. The biggest offense a black man can commit on American soil is to lay with a white woman, especially against her will. And so this 19-year-old white girl was SA'd by this 56-year-old celebrity, allegedly, and she don't call the police. Who in the hell wants to believe that? Because I don't. But I got another question for Gabriella Zuniga. Gabriella, so Shannon Sharpe was abusing you for 2 years, but you followed him from one state to the next. He sexually assaulted you, allegedly. You don't call the police. And then 2 to 3 months later, Art, in January of 2025, he comes to your home bearing birthday gifts and Christmas gifts. He comes to your home bearing birthday gifts and Christmas gifts, and you telling me that this man who just SA'd you 2-3 months ago, you're going to let him back in your house for some Christmas gifts and birthday gifts, and according to her, he SA'd her a second time. Nobody on the planet Earth is going to convince me that a black man, celebrity, multi-millionaire, SA'd a 19-year-old. She don't call the police. 3 months later, she lets him back into the house because he has birthday gifts and Christmas gifts, and he SA's her again, Art, and she still doesn't call the police. Gabriella Zuniga, I got another question for you, young lady. These sex assaults that you allege against my client, Shannon Sharpe, these sex assaults that you allege against my client, Shannon Sharpe, have not run the statute of limitations. Have not run the statute of limitations. So why did you not seek to have him arrested and tried for sex assault and then take him to civil court for your money? O.J. Simpson was found innocent in criminal court, but O.J. Simpson was found liable in civil court. So Gabriella, in the interest of protecting white women from sexually uncontrolled black men like Shannon Sharpe, allegedly, and I'm being sarcastic on purpose here, why not turn him into the police, have him tried in court, arrested, taken off the street, and you can still get your thirsty ass lawyer, Tony Busby, to sue him in criminal court? Art, it makes no sense for her not to be pursuing charges in criminal court. You were SA'd twice by a black male celebrity and you don't want no criminal justice. You only want financial justice. Art, this is a shakedown. And I do agree that Shannon Sharpe was right when he went public and offered his 1 to 2 minute statement of innocence, because it would not have been to his benefit to let Gabriella sit behind a curtain, destroy his name and legacy this entire time, and nobody know who she is. I'm glad he said who she was. I'm glad he told the world that this was an OnlyFans model. I agree with what he did. It may not hold up in court, but it don't matter. You know why, Art? Because Shannon is going through 2 trials right now. Shannon is going through civil court with the white man and a court of public opinion with the black man, the black woman, the white man, and the white woman. And guess what? Guess which one of those are more critical, Art? The court of public opinion. Because in civil court, she's going to get paid and then life will go on for her. But if Shannon Sharpe is convicted in the court of public opinion, and I hope he's not, I'm rooting for him. I hope he's not. This can destroy podcast deals. This can destroy his access to white space, because, you know, black celebrities love access to white space, parties and neighborhoods and events. They love that. So he could potentially lose out on the status of being a celebrity in the white world. Shannon has a lot to lose publicly, more so than the money she's going to get. Now, I don't think she's getting 50 million. They might give her the 10 million, Art, that he originally promised her. She might get the 10. They might give her a little less. But here's the question Shannon Sharpe's lawyer got to answer, Art. Who do you want on Shannon Sharpe's jury? Think about this. Who do you want on Shannon Sharpe's jury? Do you want black women on that jury? I don't think so. Black women are tired of black men bunny hopping, and black women are not going to look kindly upon a 56-year-old dating and freaking out and completely sexually exploiting a 19-year-old. So I don't know if they want black women. I know they don't want no snow bunnies on that jury. If Shannon Sharpe gets a jury full of snow bunnies, he is cooked. I know they don't want no white men on that jury. Why? Because you ain't got no business touching our women, let alone touching our teenagers. Legal or not, white men ain't feeling it. White women ain't feeling it. Black women ain't feeling it. That only leaves who are black men. You know what the problem is? I think black men will be Shannon Sharpe's best option for the jury, for this civil suit. But you know what the problem with that is, Art? Guess what the problem with that is?
What's that?
In most states in America, you cannot serve on a jury if you have been convicted of a felony. Think about that, Art. In most states, and this is going to come up again when we talk about our young brother Carmelo Anthony later, but in most states, if you've been convicted, Art, of a felony, you cannot serve on a jury. And the only state that has no restrictions for ex-felons is the state of Maine. And Shannon Sharpe ain't being tried in Maine. He's being tried in white-ass Nevada. So Shannon's lawyer, Lanny Davis, has his hands full. Because who do you want on your jury? You ain't safe with black women. You ain't safe with white women. You ain't safe with white men. The only people who might show you some sympathy are black men. But what are the chances you're going to have any black men on your jury in Clark County, Nevada? And you know, Art, some people are saying Shannon doesn't deserve any compassion or support because Cat Williams warned him. They said Cat Williams warned you to your face on your show that he don't trust white women and he's scared of them. Cat Williams said, I'm scared of snow bunnies. He said, because a snow bunny can destroy you in 2 weekends. He prophesies Shannon Sharpe scandal, Art. Cat Williams said a snow bunny can destroy you in 2 weekends. Well, guess what, Art? Yesterday was Sunday. Tony Busby filed the civil suit last Sunday. So Cat Williams was right. But guess what? It didn't take 2 weeks. It took one.
It took one.
Art, it has only been 7 days. It feels like 7 years. They have completely upended Shannon Sharpe's life in 7 days. And then Monique, our beautiful African sister Monique, shout out to Baltimore. Monique told Shannon to his face, what, Art? She said, stop messing with them 26-year-olds. Stop messing with them 36-year-olds. Get you a woman your age. Get you a woman who will make you them smothered turkey wings, bake you some pies, and rub your feet. She said, you ain't got no business, Shannon, messing with them 26 and 36-year-olds. Monique and Kat's prophecy came to reality. I told Shannon Sharpe, if you keep it up, they gonna get you. I told him, if you keep bunny hopping, they are going to get you. And now they got him. And to add to this, Art, some people are calling him a hypocrite because they said Shannon Sharpe said that a man should date a woman who's half his age plus 7. Half his age plus 7. Well, he's 56. You know what that means? Half is 23 plus 7 is 30. By his own account, Shannon Sharpe should only be dating women who are 30 years of age or older. So how did you get a 19-year-old? And then when he had Donnell Rawlins on Club Shay Shay, he criticized Donnell Rawlins for dating a 22, 23-year-old. He said, Donnell, why didn't you date her mother? Why did you date her? Well, Shannon, your 19-year-old is a few years younger than Donnell's 22 or 23-year-old. So some people calling him a hypocrite. Look, I'm not dealing with all that. All I know is what he did is no worse than what Elvis Presley did, and they didn't hang Elvis Presley. Priscilla Presley, Art, said Elvis Presley had sex with her when she was 14 years old. So white America can't tell me nothing about Shannon Sharpe. White America can't tell me nothing about Shannon Sharpe. If Elvis Presley can sleep with a 14-year-old child, what's wrong with Shannon Sharpe sleeping with a 19-year-old young lady? If Elvis Presley can sleep with a 14-year-old girl and still be considered a legend in the eyes of white America, one of their greatest heroes, if Elvis can do that with a 14-year-old girl, how can you cancel Shannon Sharpe for being with a 19-year-old one? If you ain't holding the Roman Catholic Church accountable for those thousands of child rapes, how you going to hold Shannon Sharpe accountable? If you're not going to hold Hugh Hefner accountable, he had 18, 19, and 20-year-olds all around the Playboy Mansion. No disrespect to him. By his own account, allegedly, he was being intimate with them, and he was much older than Shannon is. So why is it okay for Hugh Hefner to do it? Why is it okay for the priests of the Roman Catholic Church to do it? It's okay for Elvis Presley to do it, but it's a problem when Shannon Sharpe does it. I got an issue with that. I'm going to say this, Art, as I wrap up on this topic. Black men better get our lust under control. Because yesterday or a few days ago, you know what happened, Art? We had the NFL draft. 230 some odd athletes, mostly black males, were drafted into the NFL. Those black male athletes, these rookies, better be paying attention to the Shannon Sharpe case. Because I believe the white power structure is going to conduct a massive snow bunny hunt against black male celebrities. They're going to take them all down one by one with the pale vagina. If you are addicted to the white woman's vagina, you will be destroyed. Shannon Sharpe is showing you that right now. Look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' ex-wife, Art, was a nanny. Initially, the media reported that she won $1 billion settlement. They were incorrect. Shannon Sharpe's ex-wife, Tiger Woods' ex-wife got a $100 million settlement. But Art, she was a nanny. She was the extra help. How do you go from extra help to $100 million? And then you got black men running around calling black women gold diggers. Do you know of any 19-year-old black woman on OnlyFans who's suing a black male athlete for $50 million? I don't know of any. Do you know of any, Art?
Nah.
Any 19-year-old black OnlyFans who's suing a black male celebrity for $50 million? I don't know of nobody. Do you know of any black nanny who has got $100 million from suing a black former athlete? No. Black women are not making this money off of black men. White women are doing this. This financial takedown of black athletes is almost exclusively a snow bunny situation. Keep black women's names out your mouth. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.